wireless,
Okay.
so we can share that one if you'd like.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna send it to
Kendra, we've been having disaster facility meetings.
We did. We had one
I feel like it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 weeks
but I
ago.
did not make it myself.
Yeah. I also, on a different committee, the finance committee, I emailed you and Jessica a bunch of dates for all of next year.
I didn't see that. Something about all of the payback on the amounts that I got from you, and I wanted to go over that with you, but I'll get it out.
Okay, yeah. Actually, now that you say that, did you email me that?
I asked you.
I apologize. I'll email you back and give you a couple dates, but honestly, whenever you want, I'll make.
Well, I just gotta get back up to speed on all of that.
Yeah, yep. Well, that document was a lot, and so I already met with the new board members to get questions.
I
Absolutely.
haven't, figured out how to open it.
Okay,
I have not found it. So
that's fine. Yep.
probably what I just have to do. I'll get a hard copy, and I'll sit down with you, and you can explain it to me.
Perfect.
If we get it in the month.
Okay. Yep. Great. Did you wear your cap shoes?
I think it's getting brighter.
You guys really dramatic. At least it's just one of my sides.
I feel like last time we couldn't see who was out there. It was hard to tell who we were looking at last time.
Last time it was, I couldn't
think
hardly
so?
see any.
I also think the lights out there were lower. Do you remember that? It was like dark in here.
Yeah.
I think last time it was dark in here. Yeah, I feel like it's like, can't see there.
I can definitely see out there. I should have worn my, might be glad I didn't wear my glasses.
As soon as he gets back. We
I
were
might have
first
should have
a couple
worn my
minutes late, but
sunglasses.
we would change.
I was just thinking glasses here or something.
Good thing I don't have transitional lenses.
Right. That would be something. Is the Wi-Fi here? Is the public one or is there a different one that you're on? Okay, I'll just do that. There is a staff one, but I just need something. That should work.
Jessica, you ready?
Yeah.
We will start with a roll call. Kevin Kaiser,
Can't hear
present.
you. Kevin, I can't hear you.
Not working?
Is the, mi-
There we go.
There you go.
Man, you
gotta
gotta
be right
be
up on it,
closer.
all right. Meeting's called to order. Kevin Kaiser, here. Jessica Brennan,
Here.
Greg Burris.
Here.
Beth Foster,
Here.
Katie Holman,
Here.
Kim Simonson.
Yes.
Brandy Wilson.
Here.
Everyone is present. We have a quorum. We will start with the public hearing on proposed superintendent contract per Indiana Code 20-26-5-4.3. The governing board shall meet to discuss and hear public objections to and support for the proposed contract. At this time, I will open the meeting for any public comments.
I see none, sir.
We have none. That will close the public hearing, and we will adjourn the public hearing. We will resume here in just a minute.
Yeah, I got none of that. I got none. No, why is it?
I'll take care of it. I got you. Thank you.
Good evening again. At this time, we will call to order the Franklin County Community School Corporation regular school board meeting for Monday, December 8th, 2025. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would please stand if able, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We've already done the roll call. We'll bypass that. Everyone is present. We do have a quorum. First item on the agenda is celebrations. Mr. Gearing?
Absolutely. I want to take a moment to say thank you to our Board of Education for the opportunity once again to celebrate some of our fantastic folks here tonight. It's going to be a bit longer than normal as we have quite a bit of celebrating to do. First and foremost, we want to start things off with our support staff of the month. If I can have Rebecca Moore join me right up here. Let's give her a big round of applause. Come on up, Rebecca. Stand right next to me. Come on up. All right, just hang out right here for one moment. Perfect. Franklin County Community School Corporation is proud to recognize Mrs. Rebecca Moore, a dedicated special education aide, as our support staff of the month. Mrs. Moore has been a valued member of Brookville Elementary for the past 3 years, contributing her compassion, patience, and commitment to student success each day. In her role, she supports students in building confidence, mastering new skills, and celebrating accomplishments, big and small. Rebecca was nominated for this honor by a parent, which is one of my favorite things. Thank you very much. When asked why Mrs. Moore should be considered for this recognition, she responded, "She has been invaluable with my son. He adores her, and she supports him with patience, understanding, and consistency every single day. She handles his challenges with compassion and never takes his behavior personally. We are truly grateful for all that she does." Outside of school, Mrs. Moore enjoys spending time with her family and friends, especially during the summer months. When asked about the best part of her job, Mrs. Moore shared that nothing compares to witnessing a child discovering something new. It's a magic moment. No matter how long it takes them to learn it, they love that high five when they get it right. They're just as excited and proud as you are. There's no better feeling than seeing that excitement in their eyes, and I totally agree. FCC is grateful for Mrs. Moore's dedication to create a supportive and encouraging environment for all students. Her enthusiasm and genuine care make a lasting impact on the children she works with each and every day. We are honored to celebrate her contributions to our school community. One more time, big round of applause for Rebecca Moore. We'll have you go.
Rebecca, great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much.
Did you get the picture that you needed? Moore, who's joined you with, came with you today?
My brother.
Your brother, and we want to say thank you for joining us as well. One more time for Miss Moore, let's hear it for her. Good. Oh, Miss Moore, this is for you. Next up, we want to take a moment to recognize our Educator of the Month. Can I please have Miss Valerie Benjamin join me on the stage? Give her a big round of applause as well. Stand right next to me. Franklin County Community School Corporation is proud to recognize Ms. Valerie Benjamin, kindergarten teacher at Brookville Elementary School, as our Educator of the Month. Mrs. Benjamin brings an outstanding 25 years of experience in education, and 24 of those dedicated right here to Franklin County Community School Corporation. Thank you for that. She holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education with a kindergarten minor from Franklin College and a master's degree in special education from Indiana University. Her commitment to lifelong learning and professional growth has made a meaningful impact on students, colleagues, and the community. Valerie was nominated for this honor by a parent. Again, one of my favorites. Thank you for doing that. When asked why Mrs. Benjamin should be considered for this recognition, she responded, "Thank you so much for being so sweet, caring, and patient with my daughter. She absolutely loves you so much and tells me how much she adores your hugs. Thank you for making mine and my daughter's first school year wonderful. It means the world to my mommy heart." In addition to her role in the classroom, Mrs. Benjamin is an active member of the Batesville Gridiron Club. Outside of school, she enjoys a variety of activities that keep her inspired and energized. She loves to read, spend time with her friends and family, go boating, take long, relaxing Jeep rides, and travel whenever the opportunity arises. When asked about the best part of her job, Mrs. Benjamin shared, "What I love most is getting to be a part of a child's growth, watching their confidence build, seeing that light bulb moment," one of my favorites, when something finally clicks, and I know I get to play a small role in who they're becoming. Every day is different, every student is unique, and there's nothing more rewarding than seeing them succeed, not just in the classroom, but in life. It is the relationships, the smiles, and those little breakthroughs that make teaching so much fun. FCCSC extends its appreciation to Mrs. Benjamin for her remarkable dedication, passion, and service to students and the community. She represents the heart of education and embodies what it means to make a long-lasting difference. One more time, let's hear from Ms. Benjamin.
Hey, Val. Great job.
Long time no see. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Mrs. Benjamin, who did you bring with you today?
My husband.
Your husband. Well, thank you very much for sharing her with us. One more time for Ms. Benjamin. Let's hear it for her. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Oh, one more thing. Stack you up. All right, we are going to take on our fall music and athletics and as well as performance celebration, and we're going to do it in a bit of an order so we can stay organized. We're going to do the high school first with athletes, then we'll do our music and drama as a group, then we'll do our middle school athletes, and then our music as a group. For each of those groups, we're going to have the students come up on my left, come across and just stand middle stage with your back to the board just for a moment as we get everybody on board. When that group is finished, we'll send that group around for handshakes, and then we'll have you step right back off, being safe the whole time, of course. We would ask, if you wouldn't mind, make sure you stay to the end. I know some people may have places to go. This won't take that long, but we do want to have a good crowd for this part of the celebration for all of our students. They all deserve it. But each of those picture moments will wrap up our typical picture moments as we get through everything. With that being said, we're going to start things off with our high school. We'll welcome Mr. Dustin Riley to hand out our athletic awards. Let's welcome Mr. Riley.
I'm just going to call all the athletes up. Bryce Bruns, Ben Harvey, Tristan Gooden, Anna Rotert, Emma Tolhurst, Audrey Mears, Mason Wee, Blake Stevenson, Braden Wall, Ben Riffle, Mackenzie Broshears, and Carly Doherty. My first athlete's from boys tennis. It's Bryce Bruns. He's a senior. He played all 4 years of tennis. He was the captain of the team. He stayed with us when we were trying to build a team this year. Truly appreciate his patience and our coach's patience while we were trying to recruit people. He's built his way up as a senior, and he ended up being #1 singles for Franklin County High School. Good job, Bryce. Next is Ben Harvey and Tristan Gooden. I'm going to go both of these. This is boys soccer. Ben Harvey was named EIAC All-Conference for FC as a sophomore. That's a huge accomplishment. Tristan was the recipient of the Wildcat Award for his team. They both were always willing to help their teammates and push them to grow to become bigger and better in the program. Appreciate both of you guys for what you do for FC Soccer. Next up is Anna. Or in order. Anna was named EIAC All-Conference for Girls Soccer, All-Conference Defender. She was the captain of the Lady Wildcats. She always represents the team in a positive manner on and off the playing surface. When you see her, you're seeing somebody do the right thing at all times. We really appreciate what Anna does for the Franklin County High School. Thank you. Next up, girls golf, Emma Tolhurst and Audrey Mears. Emma Tolhurst was an all-conference player this season. She placed 5th in the conference tournament. She also qualified for the regional tournament in Franklin. She had an average of 43.33 on the season. She was named to the academic all-conference team for Franklin County and the EIAC. Audrey Mears was an all-conference player this season, placing 11th overall in the conference. She averaged a 47 on the season, dropping her average by 3.1 strokes, and was also on the academic all-conference team for the EIAC. Congratulations, girls. Mason Wee Wee and Blake Stevenson. They're up here for football. Mason and Blake were all-conference players, both team captains, both tremendous leaders, and have great attitudes for their teammates and the school. They always put their team first. Blake played wide receiver as a freshman, and as a senior ended up as a starting offensive tackle when called upon. Mason would also play any position to help the team, and did. He played running back, receiver, quarterback, inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and defensive back. That was all this year. Congratulations, guys. Next up is cross country. Braden Wall and Ben Riffle. First is Braden. Braden was the most improved athlete for the cross country team. Though a beginner to the sport, he continued to push his limits and finished the season as a seasoned athlete. Braden always demonstrated strong leadership, showing up early and leaving late, helping with equipment, and serving as a role model for the underclassmen that'll be coming up next year. Ben Riffle. Ben was our #1 runner for Franklin County High School. He put in a lot of hard work and is dedicated to the sport in the off-season. He has shown great leadership skills despite only being in his sophomore season. Ben is a great athlete and does a phenomenal job pushing his limits during his workouts, volunteering to run extra intervals, and leaving it all out on the field. Thanks, guys, for a great season. Last but not least is volleyball. Mackenzie Broshears and Carly Doherty. First up, Mackenzie Broshears is one of my 4 seniors who has always been a team player and leader. Mackenzie was one of my 2 captains this year and executed her role well. She worked hard on and off the court and is a go-to if something is needed. She gives 110% at all times and is always there to pick others up. Carly Doherty is a junior who is a true leader on and off the court. Carly was one of the 2 captains throughout the year and also took her role and executed it well. She controls the tempo of the game and remains positive no matter what the problem is. She is a hard worker on and off the court and strives to be better at whatever she does. Carly continues to learn the game and relates the game situations to life situations to make herself better. Congratulations, ladies.
All right, I'm going to give it about 10 seconds for a picture moment. Big smiles, everybody.
Your daughter's in 6th grade, you think so? Your daughter is in 6th grade.
All right.
My daughter's her teacher.
Hold on.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Great job. Good job.
Good job,
Nice
guys.
job. Proud of you guys spending some time. Thank you for
Congratulations.
spending all the
Good
time.
job.
Thank you. Great job.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Congratulations. Thank you. Great job,
Good
man.
job.
Great
Good
job.
job, neighbor.
Yeah, all the time invested. I understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Blake.
Yeah.
Let's give this group one more round of applause. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for representing us. All right, next up, we're going to turn things over to Miss South, who's going to talk to us about music and other arts. Miss South, come on up. Let's give a big round of applause to Miss South as well.
It is truly a privilege to stand before you this evening as we honor and celebrate the outstanding work of our Franklin County High School art programs this fall. Tonight we recognize the creativity, the discipline, and the passion that our students begin every facet of our arts, from the performing arts to the tremendous accomplishments of our FCHS band program. The FCHS students have demonstrated not only musical and theater excellence, but also the character, the perseverance, and the teamwork that define what it means to be a Wildcat. Their performances, both on and off the field and on stage, have elevated our school pride and showcased the immense talent within our student body. Under the guidance of Mrs. Tamara Craver, drama director, Mr. John Johnson, band director, Ms. Candace Kercheval, assistant band director, the arts continue to set a standard of excellence that inspires us all. This band season, 10 members of the high school were recently selected to perform in honor bands hosted by the Indiana Bandmasters Association. The IBA sponsors honor bands every year, giving outstanding band students the opportunity to perform with other area musicians and to work with guest conductors. Students who apply are rated by their directors and then selected during a meeting of area band directors held in September. Selected to perform in the all-region honor band held in Greensburg were freshmen Emma Ambergy, Emily's Peace, and Ayla Taylor. The band was composed of students from schools throughout Southeast Indiana. Selected to perform in the all-district honor band held in Newcastle were Kara Klusman, Isabella McEwen Merritt, Lily Nichols, Sage Lysing, Ava Reese, Ava Dorfline, and Sophia McCollum. This band was composed of members from bands in the suburbs of Indianapolis and all of East Central Indiana. The IBA Area Region Honor Band student, please come to the podium to receive your certificate when your name is called. With us this evening is Miss Emily Peace. The FCHS Drama Club has had a full fall season. They began by participating and winning second prize for the homecoming float. then hosted a cookout with Brookville IGA to raise funds for the season's main stage productions, jump-starting and fundraising for the year, and a big thank you to IGA. While these activities were happening, they were also rehearsing, preparing for the fall play, Ken Ludwig's The Game's Afoot. This was the first non-musical production to be presented at FCHS since prior to the pandemic. The play was a great success and really built theater skills for our young actors and crew members. This experience places our FCHS Drama Club in an excellent position for producing the spring musical called The Lightning Thief. Please recognize our students this evening who took part in the fall drama production. Students, please come to the podium when your name is called to be recognized and receive your certificate. Miss Carly Ball. Riley Shuttlecotty. Miss Haley Walston. And Mr. Aiden Urkel. This is it. And last but not least, Mr. Stephen Ambergy. That's all we have. That's all we have. Again, thank you to the parents, guardians, school board members, and also that of the community for giving FCHS the privilege to teach, to inspire, and to grow our students to become college and career ready, artistically, athletically, talented students.
Great job.
Ms. Royce?
It's had fun to be in high school. Yeah, great job.
Congratulations.
Great job. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Nice job.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
All right, one more time for these guys. Let's celebrate them with one more round of applause. Congratulations. All right, we're gonna turn things over to Ms. Heidi Royce, who's gonna talk to us about our middle school athletes. Ms. Royce?
Good evening. On behalf of the Franklin County Middle School Athletics Department, it is my honor to recognize the following fall student athletes, along with sharing statements from their coaches. When I call your name, if you'll come up and enter or to the stage on that side. Mariah Kolb. Farron Robinstein. Stella Bruns. Caleb Kramer. Ryder Orschel. Declan McCann. I'll start with our volleyball players. Mariah Kolb, the coach said that Mariah has an amazing positive attitude and gives 110% at whatever she is trying to accomplish. Congratulations, Mariah. Farron Robinstein, volleyball. The coach commented that she's a great teammate and not afraid to step up and try something new. Congratulations. Stella Bruns, cross country. Stella was our #1 female runner. She always offered to help load any materials needed for the team and did a great job stepping into a leadership role, setting a great example for underclassmen. Congratulations. Caleb Kramer, cross country. he was the boys cross-country top runner and showed up to extra practices to run with the high school runners. For football, Ryder Orschel. Ryder was the leading tackler for the 8th grade football team and a motivation to all his teammates. Congratulations. And Declan McCann. Declan was the quarterback for the 7th grade team and led his team to their first ever winning football season. Congratulations, Declan.
All right, one more time for our middle school athletes. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. And our last group to be recognized tonight, we want to welcome Ms. Kirchhoff, who's going to talk to us about our middle school music program. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause as well.
Hello, I'm going to call all of the music students up. Claire Ashcraft, Liliana Boone, Dane Brower, Austin Clark, Tristan Collette, Sierra Davis, Bridget Day, Mackenzie Eads, Jocelyn Griswold, Eli Johnson, Cooper McCullough Bolos, Branson McGee, Jasmine Mueller, and Brooklyn Wall. We had 2 honor band performances this year that we would like to recognize students for. The first one, we had 11 students selected to perform at DCI World Finals. Those students were part of 2 bands that totaled nearly 1,000 students, which is pretty crazy. That was the largest in DCI band history. And if you can imagine 1,000 middle school students roaming around Indianapolis. It was a big undertaking, but our students did great. They performed at Lucas Oil Stadium for DCI World Finals that had over 20,000 spectators in attendance, and it was streamed worldwide. The students had the chance to perform Blinding Lights by The Weeknd and Enter Sandman by Metallica. The students were also joined by legendary trumpet player Al Chez, who was the longtime trumpet player for David Letterman each night. If you were a member of either of the DCI honor bands, can you step forward, please? Thank you. Then we had 4 students selected to perform at All Region Honor Band. These students rehearsed and performed in a very select group made up of several surrounding schools in our region. The students were chosen from a competitive group of applicants and were selected to perform a concert at Greensburg High School in November. The students worked outside of school to learn their music and had the opportunity to learn from other outstanding band directors during the Honor Band weekend. After less than just 10 hours of rehearsal over the 2 days, the students gave an outstanding concert. All of these students did an excellent job representing Franklin County and our music department over the semester. So thank you, students.
time spent, you know?
Congratulations.
Thank you for all the effort and time. Appreciate that. Thanks for all that cheerleading too. Yeah, thanks for the time spent. I mean, it's a big deal. Thank you, we appreciate it. Time spent, all the practices. Thank you, indeed. Thank you. Time spent in all your practices. Amazing.
Let's give these guys one more round of applause. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. I do want to take one moment before we move on, and I want to thank a couple people because obviously this is quite a production to put this all together. So in the back is Mr. Toby Witt and Mr. Randy Edwards, who are instrumental in helping us put this together right here on the stage. Can we give them a round of applause as well? Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next agenda item. That is the consent agenda items, minutes, expenditures.
Well, he looks like Kim Stroud, but it's not, is it? I don't know why Kim would be here. Is he one of the presenters?
You can't tell your wife you can't hear. You heard this from all the way over here.
Selective hearing.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah.
I got one like that.
Okay, now we will move on to the consent agenda items, minutes, expenditures, resignations, and internal position changes. It is enclosure number 2 in your board packet. This is for discussion and board action. We need a first, second, discussion, and vote.
I'll move on the consent agenda.
Mr. Simonson, do we have a second? Second, Ms. Holman. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6-0. All those opposed? We have one abstention. She was absent last meeting.
I was not at the meeting.
She was awake, I was not. Next is personnel, new hires. Yep.
All right, this we'll kind of go through this right here. Personnel new hires, Lindsay Page, paraprofessional at BES. And for that, I'll need a first, second, discussion, and vote. Do you want to watch for who's first and second?
I'll move to accept.
Brennan makes a motion. Ms. Wilson seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0.
Personnel extracurricular for LES, we have Kylie McPherson, co-athletic director, Jalen Rogers, co-athletic director, Trinity Holes, co-athletic director. Thank all three of them for stepping into a tough space. I appreciate them very much. For FCMS, we have Lyndon Sizemore, county head boys and girls wrestling coach, Cole Freeze, county assistant boys and girls wrestling coach. Just clarification, the term county there is kind of an older term that we still have in the ECA. It's essentially our middle school wrestling coaches, just to kind of keep that clean. Angel Rifle is our webpage director. FCHS, Colin Troyer, volunteer wrestling coach. And then for that, I'll pause, first, second, discussion, and vote.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Ms. Wilson, do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Brennan, any discussion?
I would just like to say that I think it's great that so many of the kids that have recently graduated are coming back to fill some of these roles and help with the sports that they played in. I think that's great.
No other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0. Up next, we have the, sorry, we good? Up next, we have agenda item to approve the superintendent contract. Recommendation to approve Superintendent Dustin Gearing's updated contract as listed in enclosure number 5 in your board packet. This is for discussion and board action. We would need a motion, second, discussion, and vote.
I so move.
Ms. Holman makes a motion to approve. Ms. Ms. Wilson seconds, I'm sorry. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0. Next, we have grants and donations.
We have Tanya Wirtz, JAG teacher at FCCSC, is requesting permission to accept a donation in the amount of $250 from Brookville United Methodist Church to assist with buying holiday meal items for the FCCSC food pantry. And with that, only a first, second, discussion, and vote.
We have a motion. Ms. Foster.
I'll second.
Ms. Brennan. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0.
I want to take just a moment, if I can, Mr. Kaiser. I just want to thank the board for the confidence to step back into this space, and it's been a great and wonderful year and a half. I have an incredible team around me, and I just want to say thank you for the confidence that you're showing towards the leadership and all the support. From day one, this team has been very supportive of me and the things that we're trying to do. Ms. New, I want to thank you as well for being an incredible teammate, and Ms. Franks as well for being an incredible teammate over there. And my whole central office and administrative team have been fantastic, as well as everyone else as well. Just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for the opportunity to continue to serve here at Franklin County, and I couldn't be more proud. So thank you.
On behalf of the board, I will say thank you for everything that we've worked together on for the last year and a half. I speak for myself, but I think I speak for everyone up here. Next item is financial reports. Ms. Kendra?
I'm going to test. Okay, this is working. The corporation financial report, the education fund balance as of November 30th, 2025 was $6,807,546.63. A year ago, this balance was $6,184,513.50. The operations fund balance as of November 30th, 2025 was $1,898,358.64. A year ago, this balance was $1,973,863.84. The rainy day fund as of November 30th, 2025 was $4,164,641.37. A year ago, this balance was $4,303,400.92. The investment interest earned year to date as of November 30th, 2025 was $429,470.70. This is compared to $569,498.58 a year ago. I do want to just reiterate to the board that we did receive all of the missing interest from the month before because of the month end and how it ended over a weekend. We've received all of that, and so we are current.
This is for discussion only. If there's none, we'll move on to cafeteria report.
Okay. The cafeteria fund balance as of November 30th, 2025 was $203,912.52. This is compared to $305,729.01 a year ago. The latchkey fund balance as of November 30th, 2025 was $10,550.01. This is compared to $18,036.99 a year ago.
Again, this is for discussion only. If there is none, we will move on to the next item. Statements from the public and employees. In order to address the board, individuals must sign in prior to the start of the meeting. Individuals that have signed up are given 3 minutes to speak. A maximum of 5 individuals may address the board regarding the same topic, issue, or concern. Individuals are asked to avoid repetition and shall not be permitted to use names of individuals, employees, or students. First, we have public comments, and we have one signed up, Ms. Heather McCullough. If you would please come up to the podium.
I'm a little shorter than everyone else. Hello, everyone. It's good to see several of you again here. I just came today to discuss the topic of homeschooled children being permitted in Franklin County to participate in the school sports. And I know that I did talk with the superintendent about it a little bit. He told me this was the process that we needed to go through, was to bring it here before you guys and discuss your feelings towards that. I know that there are some things written in the handbook for it, but I also know that as a former educator here for 13 years and a parent, I think that homeschooled kids should have an opportunity as well. It kind of is discouraging when you see other corporations that are allowing it and that there are parents that have chosen for multiple different reasons to homeschool their kids, that they can't be included in such sports and have the same opportunities as everyone else. So I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if you guys are allowed to discuss with me a little bit what your thoughts are towards it. I don't know how that process works.
This is just for comment only. We will get your name and number and get back with you.
Okay, so the only other information I would give you guys is that there are other corporations nearby that have already offered to take my children and allow them to still be homeschooled to play sports. As a Franklin County graduate who went on to do, in my opinion, several successful things, and I played sports here as well, I would prefer my children, my students too, I guess, get to also participate here in the county that they're from and give Wildcat pride from where they're from. If Franklin County feels that it is not going to further that, then I can take them elsewhere. However, also as an employee, I have to see this from both sides, and I did take a long time to think about this over the last couple years, even as well, that Franklin County could be benefiting from homeschooled kids being in the sports as well. For example, by an athletic fee. I understand that money is an issue, so I don't think that it would be too much to ask if a parent is committed and a child is committed to play in the sports program, that a homeschooled parent could give forth some form of an athletic fee to be a part of that program and be committed to that program. I also have looked up the IHSAA recommendations and requirements for that as well, and my students, my children, follow all of that. They get report cards. They are in an accredited program. They have been homeschooling for 3 years. That is what the requirement is for that. The only other requirement is that they would attend one class in school, which I am perfectly willing to allow my children to do. I am also perfectly willing to continue to advocate for Franklin County, and if you guys have questions about other schools that I've spoken to, I will gladly speak to you on those or help you with the contacts that I've spoken with. That's all I have today.
And your contact information is correct on this page?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Kelly Middendorf, employee.
Good evening. I am here this evening on behalf of the teachers of Franklin County. According to tonight's agenda, the board will be hearing a presentation regarding the renewal of the health insurance broker. As you may be aware, Indiana Code 2029 governs collective bargaining for educators. Under this statute, the association and the school board may bargain annually between September 15th and November 15th on matters related to wages and wage-related benefits. Any discussions involving insurance benefits or vendors contractually tied to those benefits must occur within statutory bargaining window and with the participation of the association. Additionally, our contract states that any change in insurance coverage or carrier must be mutually agreed upon by both the employer and the association. We currently have no agreement of such changes. At this time, we have a settled contract for the 2025-2026 school year. Any changes to existing policy provisions or benefit parameters outside of the bargaining process could constitute a breach of contract and expose the corporation to potential legal action. Therefore, we respectfully request that any decision regarding a change in insurance broker or carrier not take effect until the expiration of the current contract to ensure continuity of coverage and compliance with the bargaining law. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is old business. We have none. Moving on to new business, transportation.
All right, to the board, Brittany McCoy, Transportation Director, is requesting permission to advertise and provide notice for bus bids for the transportation contracts. To be clear, this is just permission to start that process. There are some steps before we actually start that process, but this gives her a chance to get moving on that. I know there's been a couple of conversations that have happened and also still need to happen before we take that official step, but this gives us a chance to take that official step once we're all on the same page and ready to go. With that, I would need a first, a second, discussion, and a vote.
I so move.
Ms. Holman makes a motion. Ms. Foster seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0.
Next is the appointment for the Franklin County APC, or Area Plan Commission Board. Dustin Gehring is recommending Mr. Daryl Kramer serve another term on the Area Plan I'm so sorry. I apologize. I went down to C. Let me go back to B. I apologize. Kendra, I'm so sorry. Just skipping you down there. That's all I'm doing. I apologize.
We can do that one.
Back to B, friends. Here we are. Under B, we have the Chief Financial Officer job description. Dustin Gehring, same person. The superintendent is recommending a title change for the current business manager to Chief Financial Officer. This is no change in contract, no change in finances, just simply a title change to be more reflective of the leadership and what she's already doing from her department.
Need a motion, second, and discussion vote. Ms. Holman makes a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Brennan seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0.
Thank you very much. Now on to C. Appointment of the Franklin County Area Plan Commission Board. Dustin Gehring has recommended Mr. Daryl Kramer serve another term on the APC, Area Plan Commission Board. This recommendation comes after an intensive interview process with all candidates for the position. With that, I will need a first, second, discussion, and a vote.
I so moved.
Ms. Wilson, do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Brennan, any discussion? If there's none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0.
Item D, recommendation for performance services. Dustin Gehring, superintendent, recommends performance services as our qualified provider for the guaranteed savings contract. If approved, performance services will then work with FCCSC to finalize the scope of work, complete design documents, and solicit bids. With this vote, there's no commitment from FC until we agree to the final scope of work and project cost. This is just the next step in that pattern from our bond to the project, so that we have an identified vendor that then we will go through the quoting processes and know which projects we will take on and what we can afford in addition to our bus purchases. With that, we will need a first, second, discussion, and vote.
I move to approve.
Ms. Brennan, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Wilson, any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0. Next on the agenda is health insurance broker renewal. Board of Education will participate in a health insurance broker conversation and possible recommendation. This will be for discussion and board action. I have a few things to read to start. First, I have a signed conflict of interest just as a preliminary event. I will give that to Mr. Gearing now. That's the original. A couple of statutes to go over briefly. Indiana Code 20-29, mandatory subjects of bargaining. Statutory excerpt, Indiana Code 20-29-6-4, bargaining is required only for employee-facing costs, premium contributions, deductibles, out-of-pocket maximums, HSA and HRA contributions. Interpretation, carrier, network, TPA, PBM, stop-loss, and broker selection are not mandatory subjects of bargaining. These remain management rights unless financial exposure to employees increases. Improvements to structure do not require bargaining. Indiana Code 5-22-6-1B, professional services exemption. Statutory excerpt, this article does not apply to a contract for services that are professional in nature. Interpretation, insurance carriers, TPAs, brokers, consultants, actuaries, and stop-loss vendors are classified as professional services. No bidding process or RFP is legally required. The district is free to review or select options at any point. IERB, Indiana Education Employment Relations Board, Case Law, South Bend Community School Corp., 2017, key finding. Employers retain unilateral authority over the selection of insurance carriers, networks, TPAs, and similar vendors. These decisions are not mandatory subjects of bargaining unless the financial terms for employees are altered. Impact, carrier changes do not trigger bargaining if structure remains same or better. CBA wording cannot expand bargaining rights beyond statutory limitations. With that and my conflict of interest, I am now going to turn this discussion over to our Vice President, Ms. Jessica Brennan.
Just a second. I'd like to make a motion that we table item E, health insurance broker renewal.
There's a motion on the floor to table item E. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Foster. Table is not open for discussion. So with a show of hands, all those in favor of tabling item E, raise your right hand.
Is there not discussions?
Not when you make a motion to table. All those in favor of tabling, raise your right hand. 2. All those opposed?
May I ask a question?
Clarifying question, yes.
If we table it, I won't hear the information needed, correct?
Well, I think there's some information that's out there, some legal information. Obviously, there's some differences between opinions in regards to the legality of what's happening tonight, and because of that, there seems to be some convolution in regards to the decision. Should the board or should the board make the decision?
I'm going to stop you. When you make a motion to table, there is no discussion. We vote on the tabling. If you want to discuss it during the conversation, we can.
That's ridiculous.
So there's a motion and a second on the floor to table. All those in favor of tabling, raise your right hand, please.
Of tabling the motion.
4. All those opposed? 2. 4-2 to table. So this conversation is tabled, therefore there will be no vote on the contract, therefore there will be no contract. So they have no insurance. I would like to make a motion to remove this from the table.
You've already signed the contract. Yeah.
It's already been ratified.
Ratified, voted on, and voted on by the board. Is that
Okay,
correct?
I'm going to read this again. Statutory excerpt,
Not
Indiana
necessary.
Code 20-29. It is necessary. Bargaining is required only for employee-facing costs. Premium contributions, deductibles, out-of-pocket maximums, HSA, HRA contributions. Interpretation, carrier, network, TPA, PBM, stop loss, and broker selection are not mandatory subjects of bargaining. These remain management rights unless financial exposure to employees increases. Improvements to structure do not require bargaining.
The last 4 years.
I find it hard to believe that we wouldn't want to hear other options if we can save the school money and give our employees better benefits.
The last 4 years where we're with a particular company, we had no issues. We've not voted on that. I've been affiliated with the board for 12 years. We never voted on the carrier. So then all of a sudden urgency, for the public, I get an email at 8:30 p.m. on Friday about this. Then I get information on Saturday. It's so convoluted and so much, there's no way I can be prepared for this decision. And then some board members get emails and I don't. There's some legal issues involved here and we should leave it up to our attorneys, okay? That's my opinion.
Do we have guests here that we're going to present?
I'm sorry?
Sorry. Do we have guests here that we're prepared to present on this topic?
We do.
I would just
We have
thinking can we be
I believe,
respectful
two
of their
brokers
time
here to present.
and see a presentation?
Can I say
Yes,
something?
Brandy.
I would like to hear what they have to say, but I don't know that I'll be ready to vote this evening. Is that fair for me to say? Because that's how I feel right
Well,
now.
as it says on the agenda, discussion and possible board action. We are never required to vote on anything on the agenda. If there's not a motion and a second, then you don't vote on anything.
Okay.
Kevin, I do think that our negotiation team, and I was on that team, looked at this insurance for a long time. We've trusted our provider. Our provider's been very fair with us. The night that he came in and presented maybe 4 or 5 plans to us, and the negotiation team took those numbers and took that information back. Now, I'm like Brandy. I don't know if apples go to apples and oranges go to oranges with these two people. I'm not accusing them of anything, but I don't think that we can sit here, as Mr. Simonson just said, and make a decision on insurance. And you know, all of us know insurance is funky. And I'm telling you, we've got people, I'm not going to mention any names, but we've got people that at the end of December and some other times in December that are going to have surgery. Are we going to have insurance for these people? Can we logistically get this all signed up by January 1st? No, I don't think so. I don't think that the main office, I mean, they have a hard time getting it signed up at the beginning of the year. So I don't care what we do. I don't think that it can be done. And I think we're going to leave some people out that really need insurance that aren't going to have insurance, and our brokers can both sit there and say, we promise that we're going to have this insurance, but when it comes down to $21,000 for a kidney stone and you have to pay that out of your pocket, no way. They've already negotiated, it's already been ratified, they have insurance, they have their doctors. I just don't think, I don't understand the red flag of the urgency to get this done before January 1st.
Exactly, 100%.
So what is in the contract is their contributions. There's nothing in the contract that states who the carrier. Yes, Kendra.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I do just want to clarify in the contract.
Kendra, we can't hear you.
Sorry, on page 13 in the contract, it does say any change in insurance coverage or carrier shall be mutually agreed upon by the employer and the association. Sorry.
CBA language, coverage or carrier interpretation. Coverage refers to the financial structure. Carrier refers to the vendor delivering that structure. The association's bargaining rights apply only to coverage. Carrier changes are fully permissible without bargaining if employee exposures remains unchanged or better. This is supported by Indiana Code 20-29 and IRB case law.
Kendra,
Sorry?
I too, echoing the same sentiments about the urgency of this. I don't understand this because I'm not a businessman, all right? I'm an educator. But logic tells me if we're going to bid out insurance, let's open it up and allow bid. Now, we're not required to do that. I understand that. But if we have other vendors out there who want to enter into an agreement with us and give us the best deal, why wouldn't we do that? So that's why we need to, sit tight next year, take a look, and see what vendors incorporate the union that we want to go with. There's a question. I'm not in charge here, Eric. So
This is not open for questions from the public.
She just said something.
She yelled it out, and I heard it. Jessica?
That's correct, Gary.
Robert's Rule of Order said no discussion, and we argued about that. So we're having a discussion here.
I think it is prudent as a board member, if we can have quite a savings, it's worth hearing. That's my opinion, and I think you had alluded to that as well, Mr. Simonson. It's worth hearing, it's worth seeing these bids. We are in a position here that we should be prudent with taxpayer dollars, giving our employees the best benefits we can. If we can save money and push that to our employees in another way, that would be fabulous. For that reason, I love to hear, not to say that this is going to go into effect tonight or January 1. That's a different discussion that would have to be had with the union as well, it sounds like, out of respect at least. But we do need to hear our options.
If we had not tabled it immediately, what I would say is we have two brokers here to present that are professionals that can answer the questions of can this be done, how would this be done, what are the ins and outs, and we can ask any questions that we want.
Yes.
So if we were to take this off the table and discuss it, listen to the presentations, at the end of those presentations, this board is free to make a motion, second, discussion, and vote to stick with what we have. You can make a motion, second, discussion, vote to change, or you can not make any motion at all. But those are your options. You have presentations here that are willing to give their time to tell you what our options are. And as Ms. Brennan said, you're potentially looking at $1 million in savings according to the documents that we've received. So why would we not want to listen to the professionals tell us how that works?
How do we know that it's apples to apples and oranges to oranges?
You listen to the presentation.
No.
Well, there's inadequacies of the people presenting getting the material. One presenter didn't even get the material of the other presenter until today. I mean, where's the fairness in that?
I don't have any idea
I don't
what you
think
mean by that.
MK received Anchor's information.
Did
My position is we follow the agenda. We decided to table this. We go on tonight, and then you pick a date in the future for that way the union can interact, because I believe they have a responsibility or opportunity.
So we have no interest in saving the school money or the employees' money or hearing the presentations. Is that what you're saying?
Kevin, you can't do it now. There's a time and a place for everything. This is not the time or place for this.
It's not.
This is the time. It is a board meeting.
No, it's not. You're badgering us. All
I'm
right?
not badgering.
You are badgering us.
May
The
I
decision has
interject?
been voted on.
Yes, Katie.
May I interject?
Yes.
The reason that I didn't want to table it at the time is some of the information that has been coming is what I needed. I would like to hear what the employees are saying, because I don't know what's the best. I'm an educator. I'm a retired educator. I've never had a contract in the middle of the year where the insurance has been changed. But because the information was just brought out and we're just reading that, and some of the conversation that's gone on, we've not had time as a board to know what each one is saying or feeling. I do somewhat agree with Mr. Simonson that get the information and then on the next contract, so we don't have the appearance of not knowing what we're doing, if that makes sense. But I really would like to hear from the teachers, and I don't know that that is possible because this is not a discussion moment. I couldn't hear everything that Kendra was saying, and it's mainly because the speakers I've reverberating, not because of my hard of hearing or my hearing loss, but I couldn't hear exactly what you said. But the things that we are discussing when we're not supposed to be discussing is what I needed to know. That's why I didn't want to table. I needed to hear your voice. I needed to hear your heart. So Kendra, could you repeat?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just reiterated language from the teachers. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. I just was reading the teacher's contract that has already been approved and ratified. And in the teacher's contract, it does state that any change in insurance coverage or carrier shall be mutually agreed upon by the employer and the association.
That's what I needed to hear. Thank you.
And I read the CBA language coverage or carrier interpretation by IRB. Coverage refers to the financial structure. Carrier refers to the vendor delivering that structure. The association's bargaining rights apply only to coverage. Carrier changes are fully permissible without bargaining if employee exposure remains unchanged or better. Where's the other one?
I think we need to move on with the agenda, please.
I believe that they have their teachers aren't here.
I have a hard time understanding how this board could not want to hear how we can save $1 million in our education fund, potentially saving our employees money as well, when all we do is complain about not having enough money, worrying about being taken over by the state. DUAB specifically states our self-insurance as the biggest red flag that we have. I'm not sorry. I do not see the harm in listening to these two brokers that took the time out of their day to come here and present to us and present our options.
Who invited these two brokers?
The administration did.
It was an agenda, sorry, the agenda item produced the need to invite brokers because there was a discussion.
I've got a question.
Yes, Mr. Burris.
I would think that we would want to leave things.
Scoot up to the microphone.
I would think we would want to leave things status quo until the end of this school year, and we can revisit this in June when we've got to have time to digest all this information. I mean, we would just be shooting from the hip. I'm like Ms. Holman, I want to hear the teachers' opinions on this, and I wouldn't mind hearing some tonight, although we may be here all night. But Kevin, my question is, wouldn't this insurance be put up for bid so we could have more than two folks bidding on this? And I'm 100% in saving money for the school corporation and putting it where it needs to be. But I want to make sure the teachers are getting what they need for their insurance. So I just think we need to slow this thing down so we have time to understand what's going on here for everybody's best interest.
I agree with you.
And I was going to ask if we could adjourn for a small break before and I want to hear from the presenters tonight, and maybe the teachers out here do too, just to gather more information. But could we have a small break before we would adjourn for a second to go on?
Yes, we can. We'll recess for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Oh, Katie, wait. We can start again when we come back. Recess for 10 minutes.
I certainly wouldn't mind.
7:25.
I certainly wouldn't mind hearing the presentation, but I don't know that I vote.
do want to hear what they say, though.
Not tonight.
We're back.
They should have an opportunity to hear the same conversation.
She's not getting any.
Well, I wouldn't like anybody messing with my insurance.
I checked it, it powers the,
I just talked to her. She said,
I choose.
I'll talk to Toby and have Toby.
Well, you know what, what's the difference in, hey, we're in the middle of the contract, and we cannot talk about these things in school insurance? Because we're in the middle of the contract, right? You know, they wouldn't hear anything about it.
We will now bring this meeting back to order. We'll let Mr. Gearing say a word first.
To be clear, this is not item E, so we're not returning, but I do want to take a moment to talk to the board as the superintendent. First and foremost, logistically, the folks in the back have asked that we make sure our microphones are close enough because they have to turn the gain all the way up, which is causing the reverb. So I appreciate everyone being able to do that so that we can have the discussion heard across the room. This is not my meeting, and it's not my vote, but I think you need to hear from me, so I'm going to speak to you. I believe that you do things with people, not to them. I believe that ultimately we should be open to hearing all kinds of ideas, and I believe timing matters. And I believe at this moment, the timing is that the people most impacted by this decision haven't had a chance to hear or to speak about what is on the table. And whether the board chooses to or not to allow our presentation, of course, is up to the board. But at the same time, I have a January 1st coming up for my people. And January 1st matters because all my people out there are dependent upon this insurance to ensure that their families are protected. And in my opinion, it is one of the most valuable things in a person's life is their health care. And it's something that you just don't play games with ever. And timing matters to ensure that games are never played. And so here's what is also real. So you've heard me speak to that. What is also real is that it has been discovered, that for decades, the board has not voted on the vendor. And there's a concern that if we don't take a step towards a vendor tonight, that there could be an argument that they are not going to be our vendor by rule, and therefore we could be at risk of not having proper insurance. I am always here to protect this corporation and my people. So I'm going to request, if the board chooses to or not to listen to the presentations, that is not my conversation tonight. But before we leave tonight, I would request that at some point we take action to name a vendor to ensure that my people have no reason to believe that we're shaking a foundation for them around insurance. Of course, it is the board's meeting. It is not my meeting. It's the board's agenda. It's not my agenda. But my people are my people. And so I would say out loud, I would ask the board to do things with my people in the timing needed. And then I would also say out loud, we need to do something tonight to ensure there's no question as January 1st approaches. As of this second, we have no item on the agenda to make any decision. And if we leave this board meeting tonight without an agenda item, there is reason that the concern that some could say, well, you don't have that vendor, that's not proper, you can't pay them properly. That could be the discussion. Although we've done it for 2 decades, it certainly could be the conversation. So I would just ask the board as superintendent to make sure that no matter what, whether you choose to hear or not hear the options, that we make the choice, to have at least the vendor named so there's no question. I would also say this out loud. I've learned a lot in the last week about this process. One part of the process I need the board to understand. We are not under any contract with any broker whatsoever. We can change brokers literally at any point. We could vote a broker into place tonight and then choose in 4 days a different broker, and we would owe no one anything from that stage, from the broker side of things. We're not under contract with anyone. So the decision tonight is a safe decision from the standpoint of we can change if we want to. It is a different decision because, of course, there may be different options on the table. But you've heard me speak my mind around those things. But I do ask the board at some point tonight to take some level of action on a vendor, but that cannot happen without all of the steps that we need to add to the agenda to do so. If I can answer any questions about that, I'm happy to, but I just want to give some clarity to the floor regarding steps that need to be taken. Katie.
So if we were to name the vendor that we are currently using with the thought that in the next contract that we would be considering other vendors, but if we were to name the vendor that we're currently using, there would be no disruption in the insurance that's going on at this time?
You could choose any vendor to be the agent of record with the signing of a paper, and they could go on with the same insurance they have now if that's what you wanted to do. You're just changing who services it.
I feel, am I still at turn?
Yep.
Okay. I feel in many respects that being that we have been talking about this for the last few days, 5 days or such, and reading so much material, but I also feel that we need to work closely with those whose insurance we're talking about. Being a retired educator, it really helps if I knew what was going on. I'm not opposed to looking at other vendors. I'm certainly not opposed to saving money by any means at all. But I feel that we need to hear from them as well on what would make them have the assurance that we're working for their best behalf, not just in numbers, but for what they're feeling at this time. So if we can stay with the named vendor and yet consider looking at other vendors for the next contract, so it gives us the confidence that we need with every party involved, that would be my choice.
Beth, anything?
Well, personally, I don't want to put the school employees and many people that depend on our insurance in any problems. As I said before, insurance is so funky. I mean, you think you've got something covered, and they come back and ask you 10 questions why and this and that, and we don't know what Trump's going to do with his insurance January 1st, and that's an issue also. But tonight, I definitely think that we need to stay with what we've got, let everybody be happy. I also think that this is so emotionally fired up tonight that, and I appreciate the vendors coming, and I know they had to come a long way, but it might be a better meeting that we could listen and maybe look at things more objectively. If we would meet in maybe 2 weeks or whatever and let them come down and present. Now, if they do come down, and if they don't present tonight and they come down, I want a sheet that's going to tell me this and this. I don't want anything left out, because that's what insurance does. It just becomes very complicated, and then you'll say, well, I thought that I had that. Well, no, you don't have that. I mean, these people looked over this insurance that we have now, and they know pretty much what goes and what comes. They also know that our employees, that we're doing really well with our payouts on insurance, knock on wood, but I just think this is a highly emotional thing to do tonight.
Mr. Simonson?
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
Microphone, please.
Yes, thank you. I believe and I support the fact that we ratified the contract back last fall. Each side had an opportunity to rent their sides, and we agreed and we voted to pass your contract. That's where I am. From my standpoint, when we voted on E, we voted to postpone any decision, all right? We tabled it. We don't go back, we tabled it. We seek out in the future, find a date where we can communicate, find common ground, and move towards success. I am not in favor of changing the agenda. That's against the law, okay? So it's my suggestion that we move to item F.
Mr. Burse.
I think I'm in favor of go ahead and taking a vote tonight. If we could put it back on the table and take a vote tonight to go ahead and finish our current contract with the teachers, with the carrier that they have, because we must honor these contracts. And then we can look at other carriers for the next contract. But as Dustin says, I think we probably need to vote on this tonight just to keep our current carrier, because these guys need to go home with some assurance here, especially at Christmas time, that their insurance lives are not going to be upended.
Ms. Wilson.
I think insurance is important. It really is. I work in insurance every day. I see Medicare and Medicaid. I do home health, so I know how important insurance is. I have a son who's disabled. I rely on insurance to help him get what he needs on a daily basis. And so I do understand the importance of it. I think it's important if we can save the corporation money, though. You know, I'm not saying to change what you have now, because I wouldn't like that myself. And I am a firm believer to do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So I think that using the current policy that we have now would be best beneficial for everyone. But I do think it's good to be open-minded when people have information about things that could possibly be better. So I think that to vote to keep your insurance the same as what it is now for the remainder of this year would be a great idea, but I would like to be open-minded and hear from other brokers of if they have better coverage, because that's important, and to see if they could also save the corporation money.
Ms. Brennan.
Mr. Gehring, thank you for the initial words. That was very heartfelt. That is important. And that's number one, always in the district, I think, are our people who are the backbone, keep things going every single day here. It is number one most important that your lives are not turned upside down in any way. I believe that keeping the expectations that were set during bargaining is what's right. I do not want to act in any what may feel like bad faith where we would be changing that unexpectedly. I think that's important that our people know that we're honoring what was set. That being said, this is a business decision that needs to be made, so not in a quick manner, perhaps, but it does need to be looked at. I feel we do need to weigh these options. Perhaps that would give us the time next year at bargaining again, where you would then know what these options are. There would be correct expectations set at that time. But I do believe it as a business decision, this does need to be looked at and considered, but perhaps for the next bargaining, I think that is the correct time to make these changes as well.
So listening to everyone, we're worried about possible changes, but we're okay with the changes if they happen next year. It's the same change if anything was to change. This is a fiduciary responsibility to look to see if we can save the school a lot of money. And if we can do that without affecting the employees' benefits or even making them better, then why would we not want to hear from the professionals? Obviously, everyone up here has a lot of questions. The people to answer those questions are sitting right out there in the first couple rows. Believe there's 4 people here that can answer questions. But instead, we're deciding to say we have a lot of questions, but not get answers. Every question that you've asked up here can be answered by both of them. I'm pausing. I want to make sure everybody was listening. There's been a lot of not paying attention. We have professionals here to answer your questions. Whether you use those answers tonight, tomorrow, a week from now, or a year from now, this is your chance to ask those questions and get your answers, period. If you don't like what you hear, make your decision based on that. If you do like what you hear, make your decision based on that.
Kevin, I think too, when the negotiation board gets together and they look at the insurance and, like I said, listening and talking and having it written on paper, I think that's 2 different things. And I know I was on the negotiating team and been on it before. I know that this is something that they look at and pick apart, and they want the best for their money that they're going to get their insurance. For us to sit and listen, there's so many things that I was just thinking about myself. Well, how would I know everything to ask? Because there's so many issues in insurance. I'm not sure I could ask. You know, there might be something that you leave out.
That's why there's 7 of us up here. And if you have more questions later, you can ask those questions later.
Well, I disapprove of that, don't think we should do that, and I think it should be written on paper.
What do you mean by written on paper?
I want a contract. I want a contract that says, I get this for this.
Do you think they're not going to give you information when they come up here?
I don't know what they're going to give me.
Exactly. That's why they're here, to give you that information. If you let them come up, you'll get that information.
I'm finished.
Ms. Holman, you had your hand up.
I don't have a problem with hearing, and I think I've made that clear. The only way I'm going to learn is to hear. I'm not saying that that's necessarily for tonight because of time's sake. I do appreciate being able to save the school money, but if I'm listening to the entire board, we are already saying we want to stay with the current company that we have throughout this contract. Certainly want to hear things that would affect our next contract. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. But in listening to what has been said, I don't think it would be beneficial to our board or to our school system at this time to change the insurance midterm.
Nobody said you had to change. They're here to give presentations.
And I'm good with presentations. I'm good with presentations. But as Superintendent Gearing has said, we need to name a company tonight. Correct?
That is what's been defined along the way.
I think, Kevin, that this may not be the right forum tonight to take in all this information they would be providing to us. I think we're going to have to maybe have people back when we have more time so we can really sit down, trying to listen at this point now to 2 different presenters. And like Beth said, we really need to be able to see the information in front of us when they're presenting, and maybe they do have that tonight, but I just don't think we could all retain enough.
They're out there shaking their head, yes, that they have the information.
Yeah. I just don't think we could retain enough of this tonight to move forward. I think we need a more formal presentation where we can have, this has all just been sprung on us and really rushed. We've been rushed through all of this. I'm into this 24 hours, and I'm a farmer, and I don't know that much about insurance. I don't even have health insurance myself. I just pay as we go. But I can't make a decision on this in 24 hours. We need time for these guys to come and really make a professional case, lay out, say, like Beth said, this is what it's going to cost, this is what the teachers are going to be getting, this is going to be their deductible. We can't just try to cram all this in 30 or 40 minutes here. It wouldn't be fair to the presenters.
But it'd be fair to them to send them back home without presenting the information they brought for you?
And I really do feel bad about that. I mean, I don't mind hearing them, but I just don't know how much I can retain myself at this point. But I do apologize for this. But like I said, this has been sprung on me like 24 or 48 hours, and I'm trying to do a crash course on this. We needed more time to prepare, and this is where we are.
Ms. Brennan, you like your...
I'm just listening right now. Thank you.
Just the way you were looking, I thought you had a question. So, as Mr. Gearing said, he is requesting some form of an action. You would have to take item E off the table. Right, or pick it back on the table, correct.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
You would have to put it back on the table. Somebody would have to make a motion to put it back on the table, a second, and a vote to approve putting it back on the table.
I challenge that,
Challenge what?
that you can change a vote after a vote has been taken.
We're not changing a vote. It would be somebody making a motion to take an item or put an item back on the table.
Does that item need to be advertised?
It's already been advertised.
What item are you referring to?
Item E, health
We
insurance.
voted to table it.
Correct.
Okay.
If somebody makes a motion to put it back on the table and there is a second, and there is a vote in favor of that,
I question the legality of that.
and I am the chair, I rule on that, and I'm telling
You're
you,
just
if
a
some...
person. You're
Huh?
not a chair, you're the president, you run the meeting. You're a
Exactly,
person.
and I rule
Okay.
on questions like that.
Oh, okay. Our school attorney should rule on a question like that.
I make a motion that we put this back on the table to make a vote to go with our present carrier at this time.
Can we pick that apart? That was a motion to put item E back on the table. Is that correct?
Mr. Burris has made a motion to put item E back on the table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Wilson seconds the motion.
Discussion?
Yes, just,
Is
we have
that
first and
in-
second. Is any discussion?
Is that in order so that we can vote upon a carrier to continue through the end of the year?
That would be to bring item E, health insurance broker renewal, back onto the table. When you bring that back onto the table, if you do, you can make any motion you want. You could make a motion to make Mr. Gearing the new vendor.
Are you going to start selling insurance? Okay.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor to bring item E back onto the table, raise your right hand.
No, wait, I don't think you stated the whole
Item E
thing.
means he brings up both insurance companies.
All those in favor of bringing item E, health insurance broker renewal, back onto the table, raise your right hand.
Is that what he said?
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
What did you say, Mr. Burris?
I said I make a motion that we put this back on the table so we can vote to approve our current carrier so we can fulfill our contracts to the teachers.
That's it.
Can we clarify, can you state that motion, Mr. Burris? Are you suggesting that we stick with our current carrier?
Yes, I am.
He can't make that motion because there's no item to make the motion on.
So can we slow this down? And I think we are at a point now where we are saying we are voting to put item E, just the discussion of a health insurance broker renewal, on the table.
That was my understanding of the motion, was Mr. Burris made a motion to put item E, health insurance broker renewal, back onto the table, and it was seconded
Okay.
by Mrs. Wilson. Mr.
And-
Burris, if that's not what you meant, would you please restate your motion?
That's close enough. Let's just.
No, don't say that.
You got to say that we want that guy back.
That is not
Well, I
what we're...
think that might be in the next motion after we get it back on the table.
Yes.
Then I can
Yes.
make a motion that we move to, guys, this isn't this difficult. Let's just get through this. I make the motion to put this back on the table, to retable this item E.
Mr. Burris makes a motion to put item E, health insurance broker renewal, back on the table. Do we have a second? Ms. Wilson, seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 5. All those opposed? 2. Motion is approved. Motion passes. Item E is back on the table. Yes, we will. I will. Item E, health insurance broker renewal. The Board of Education will participate in a health insurance broker conversation and possible recommendation, discussion, and possible board action.
I make a motion that we accept and keep our current carrier for the teachers for this upcoming contract year.
Mr. Burris makes a motion to keep our current carrier for the upcoming year. Is there a second?
To clarify, that is MJ.
No, it's not.
That is what he's referring to.
That is not what he said.
Greg, do you say MJ?
MJ.
That would be the vendor.
What?
That would be the vendor and broker.
Say.
Ask Kendra to read the name of it.
Kendra, could you please clarify?
Yes, I can clarify that MJ Companies are our current brokerage company that represents Franklin County School Corporation. And they have put into place a plan with Anthem and Sun Life for our insurance coverage. So in order to keep things current, if that's what you're suggesting, you would need to vote for MJ to stay as our brokerage and Anthem and Sun Life as our carriers.
Thank you.
Mr. Burris, is that your motion?
It certainly is.
So I will restate, Mr. Burris is making a motion to approve the contract with MJ Insurance and Anthem as the carrier and Sun Life as the TPA carrier. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Brennan seconds. Discussion.
I will state again, as I did earlier, I feel in good faith to our people, to all of our teachers, all of our employees, to keep current based on the negotiations that were done just a few weeks ago. I believe that's right. I believe this discussion will take place again later in the year, and everyone will have more information before a decision is made, and I believe that is the best way to move forward to support our people.
Any other discussion? I will say this.
Aren't you calling for a vote?
It's still discussion. I'm allowed to have discussion too.
Really?
There is no conflict of interest unless you make a vote and approve that vendor. There is no conflict of interest, and I've already filed a conflict of interest. If I file the conflict of interest, I can participate in any discussion or vote. That being said, you're passing up a chance to save this school corporation over $1 million in education funds. You are passing up a chance to pass that savings on to our teachers. You are passing up a chance to take that savings and hire more teachers or provide more benefits. We complain all the time about neighboring school districts paying our teachers more, having better benefits, and having more teachers. We have an opportunity to hear a proposal from 2 different brokers to save this corporation a minimum of $1 million. Minimum.
How does he know that?
If we had had good representation, this would have taken place 2 years ago, and we would have saved this corporation more than $1 million. But it did not happen.
Point of order. Point of order.
Point of
You can't
order.
reflect
What's your
back
point
on
of
that.
order?
We're talking to present.
I didn't ask. I said, what's your point of order?
Referring back 2 years ago, where's the relevancy in that?
It's part of this discussion regarding the health insurance.
Oh, okay.
We can't talk about past decisions. We worried about a $180,000 contract, but we're not worried about a $3 million contract, which is 10% of our budget. I find that very irresponsible.
Kevin, I don't think we're passing up anything. We're just saying we have to have more time to understand this. I mean, we're more than willing to look at this in the right setting. Because
We would have had more time had documents been passed in a timely
this,
fashion.
I mean, this is a huge decision. This is $3 million. This is these people's lives.
You're right, and we're not even listening to options.
Well, we are going to in the future, but in the proper venue, we will listen to it. I mean, I just feel like this has been tried to shove down our throats, and damn, I've got to understand this stuff before I can do anything. But I call for a vote, please.
I'll say one more time, we were passing up an opportunity to hear about saving $1 million. The vote has been called. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the contract with MJ Insurance and Anthem as the carrier and Sun Life as the TPA, raise your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0, 1 abstain. Motion passes. Next item is item F, the 2025 Teacher Appreciation Grant Distribution Policy.
I need you to approve the Teacher Appreciation Grant. It is different this year. 20% of our staff will receive that. I gave you the document as an attachment that will go out to our staff tomorrow with an explanation for this. The first round is $3,500, the second tier is $5,000, and the third tier is $7,500. They will complete the form, submit it to me, and then a committee will go through that form consisting of the union and administration. If you approve that, I would like to continue. I have to have this submitted to the state by January 30th.
What was the date?
I'm sorry?
What was the date?
January 30th.
Okay.
So require first, second, question, discussion, and vote.
And I'll answer any questions you have.
Do we have a motion?
I make so move.
Ms. Wilson makes a motion to approve the teacher grant, or Teacher Appreciation Grant. Do we have a second? Ms. Foster? Any discussion?
Can you, maybe for the benefit of everyone listening, just elaborate a little bit on how this works, or?
Yes, it's new this year, so teachers will submit. Sorry. Teachers, nobody ever tells me I need a microphone. Teachers will submit a data for last year to show a year's growth for the majority of their students for Tier 1. For Tier 2, it's a year's growth in a leadership position, be that committee, mentor, and I will give them a list of those. And then for Tier 3, it's a year's growth, a leadership position, as well as a high-need area, such as STEM, math, special education, ELL. So those are the three, and that's all written out for them.
Any other discussion? We have a first and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0. Next item is other. The January board meeting has been moved to January 19th, 2026, and depending on that meeting, all further meetings will go back to the regular schedule. But that is a decision we will make at that January meeting. Next item, superintendent's report. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for wrestling back through a process so that there's no question. Whatever the decision was going to be, I appreciate that my people don't have to worry about whether they will or won't, no matter what that decision was going to be, because there's nothing more important than my people having the confidence going in tomorrow to teach the children in front of them, knowing that they have the protections that they need and that they're in a good place. There's nothing more critical than that. So thank you for wrestling back through that process, just so there's no question to that. I do look forward to the future where we have a bigger process and more collaboration so we can do things with people. That's a critical part for me, and that people feel confident in the decision and the process that we follow to get to that decision. I'm always the process person that looks at how did we get here, and I'm thankful for the opportunity in the future. I want to take a moment to talk about something else. We got a chance to celebrate some incredible kids tonight. Yes. What an incredible group. And they just represent a portion of our student population that time and time again show us what it means to be a part of FC and what it means to be great. And I'm just so thankful for them because they make that choice every day to show up and to do all those great things, both for themselves but also for this community. And I'm very thankful for all of them, every single one of them. They bring their talents to the table, and they are willing to let those things shine. And I'm just incredibly thankful. I'm also grateful to their coaches and sponsors. The amount of time, having been a head coach myself and back in the day, the amount of time that these folks spend with our kids is incredible. So I want to say thank you to them as well for all of their efforts. Also, good news. This coming summer, we have Kid Whisperer coming back. That was something that has already been proven to be an incredible opportunity for our folks, and we're bringing that back this summer, and we're looking forward to that. And so that has already gone out to our folks for a chance to get signed up for that. And then lastly, because I don't want to go on and on because it's been a long night, I do want to take a moment and say thank you as well to our custodian and maintenance staff for their response to inclement weather. Even when we have a snow day, they're coming in, they're doing the work, they're ensuring that our roads and our sidewalks are safe and that we're prepared for school the next day. Then also the road assessment crew. Folks may not know this, but we have a team of people that get up about 3:30 in the morning on those special days where we just don't know yet what the best choice is, myself included, and make a drive, right? And they go out in their own cars and they drive these roads in their own cars to help us make best decisions. That is huge. That is a giant piece, and none of the other folks besides me necessarily get paid to do that. I do, right? I'm the superintendent. That's what it is. But these folks are willing to do that because they know how important it is. So I want to say thank you to them as well because their efforts keep everybody safe. And I think it's important that we acknowledge them. So with that being said, I'll turn things back over for legislative updates.
Legislative updates, I have none. Does anyone else have anything?
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you.
Go, Kim.
I would like to,
Kim,
again,
scoot up to the mic, please.
Again, I would like to thank all the schools that participated in Veterans Day. Being a veteran, it really touches your heart. So, and I know a lot of them wrote letters to the veterans, and that was just amazing. So I just wanted to bring that up one more time and thank you personally.
Thank you. Future agenda requests. There are none. Recognition. Oh.
You were thanking the crew and our people that go out and check. I also think that we need to send a thank you, or people are watching our highway department and our sheriffs do an awesome job and let us know that on those days. So.
Future agenda requests. There are none. Recognition and acknowledgements? None. There's nothing else. Greg?
I would just like to say thank you all out
Greg.
I would just like to say thank you all for what you do every day, and you guys are much appreciated. And you can see that we don't always agree, all 7 of us, but we do try to be very respectful of each other's opinions. And I think this is a great group to work with, even though we don't always agree. We do try to do the best thing for the community and the school corporation. But thank you all for what you do every single day.
Anything else? If not, we will adjourn at 8:05 p.m. The next regular school board meeting will be at 6 p.m. Monday, January 19th, 2025, at the administration